Hi everyone and welcome to Minecraftmum's Survival Skills. This is episode 2 where we're going to make our first home. So if you want to follow me, last night we spent the night in this cave, not even a full cave, and what I explained was the best thing to do in your first day in Minecraft is to make yourself a bed if you can. So we did that and spent the night quite comfortably up there, and today now though it's time to get busy and put some walls in and generally make our place a bit more comfortable. So what I'm going to do, actually, I think probably the first thing we should do is I'm going to show you how to build a shovel, because we're going to need that, because the main thing we're going to want to do is make some windows and get the house nice and comfortable. So what I'm going to do to make a shovel is take 2 sticks, so press E to open this up, grab 2 sticks, place some cobblestone there, and that's got us a shovel. And what we'll do now is go get ourselves some sand. To get the shovel we press 7 and then head over, left click to pick up sand. These little yellow blocks are sand. What we're going to need is at least, I was going to say multiples of 6 to make glass panes, because we're going to melt this down and then we are going to turn it into glass panes, so I tend to collect them at least multiples of 6. What I'm not going to do is dig into the water. I'm going to leave a little beach around the water because I think that's quite nice. So we've got a good amount there of sand. I'm going to collect up a little bit more soil and create a nice little walkway around. And I'm going to also create a bit more space for growing things. So I'll just clear this out a little bit more, because this field is ultimately going to get a lot bigger. What we're going to do as well is create a space for animals, ultimately. That should be pretty good. So I think what we'll do here now is actually I'm going to get a little bit more sand. I think that's not quite enough. So there we go, and we'll take that back up to where we spent the night and begin work in making ourselves a comfortable home. What we'll also want to do is think about getting a more appropriate entranceway, but that can take a little bit more time. I'm just going to clear this up around the bed and get ourselves a bit more cobblestone. And I think over here I'm just going to lay down some cobblestone to make the floor nice and level. And then what I'm going to do is set up here. We'll make another crafting table because it's a bit of a hassle to go all the way down. And we're going to make ourselves our first furnace. So what we're going to do is drag that cobblestone around in a circle, and that gives us a furnace. Actually, I might as well do another one, because sometimes they're good to put one on top of the other when you've got a lot of things to cook. So here we go, there's one, and there's 2. I'm going to place some coal in there, and then I'm going to place the sand in and let that just settle down. While that's burning, I'm going to get busy again, just expanding the house a little bit. We've got quite a steep drop here. I think we'll tidy this little ledge up a bit. And you have to be careful when you drop down that you don't go too far down. And we'll head back up. And I think we might want to open this up a little bit to give a bit more of a view. I tend to make enough space in my house. I tend to like to have a house that's all in one big room, because then when you're needing to make things, everything is easy to access. It might be nice to have a sort of a split level where you flow down to the next level, but it's I do like having it built in to a cliff, and I do like having a lot of light. Those would tend to be things that I find useful. You want to leave room for enchanting at some stage is also important. But this is a reasonable size room here. We've got a good large area to work with. So it's starting to take shape now. We're just working with the natural shape we discovered when we came here. And I'm just going to build this out a little bit more. We'll pick up that little bit as well. That's just to tidy that up. I quite like high ceilings because you can put lots of, if you're putting in bookshelves, you can leave some light above the top and it just makes it a little bit more spacious. But everybody has their own taste. At this point, because we're focusing on survival skills, I'm not going to make the most beautiful house in the world. I am focused really on making something that feels quite secure and cozy. So that should probably do the trick in terms of space. Just going to cut this open a bit more, give us a little bit more room. And then we'll go and check on our glass to see how the glass is coming along. So as you can see, that drops down and you just walk over the blocks to pick them up. And we've got 14 more blocks to place. So again, to drop them, you just right click and that'll place them down. You look and then you place that little white square where you want the blocks to go. So that is looking like a nice big opening. I'm going to just take that up a little bit higher. And get ourselves a little bit more cobblestone. And then I think that's probably, we've got to stage, yes, we've got some glass that we can start working with. You take the glass and you need 6 glass blocks to make panes. And that is a much more efficient way. You can just fill your windows with glass blocks, but it looks a lot nicer if you've turned them into panes first. So that's given us a good number of panes. And at this stage, I am going to place the panes in here. I don't know how big we want it. I'm going to make a fairly big window. And we can always change it. It's very easy in Minecraft if you live with it a while and it doesn't quite work to just change it. So we're going to maybe square this off a little bit and square this off. We're running out of time, but as you learnt from day one, you don't need to worry about finishing your shelter before dark because all we have to do is hop into bed and job done. So I think though we're getting close to finishing, which would be nice to do, have a nice room in place before we've finished day 2 in Minecraft. There we are. Not quite finished. I'm going to try and do a little bit more. And then I think what we need to do is call it a night. So, getting quite close though. And again, I keep working my way through from the interior. And just building the room out in size, I find, again, a very big open plan is what works well for me. You need to be careful because we just created a gap to the outside there. And what we'll also have to figure out is where we want to put the doorway. We can worry about that in the morning. So I'm going to keep working actually in the dark, just because I would like to try and finish this today and show you how it works. But I think actually, and we can actually see some baddies for the first time, so that might be nice. I'll just get another pickaxe and we'll work our way through a little bit more. the other thing we haven't done is put any torches up, so I think actually what we'll do is we will get some torches first of all. The way you make torches is you place the sticks there with the coal above, and then left, right, left, right, left, right, and that gives you some torches. That will help to prevent any nasties from spawning in your house. That would be really quite sad to have a new house and have it filled with baddies. So that's given us most of the basis for our house. And we'll do a little bit more finishing off. Again, at any time we can go to sleep and wait for the next day. The only thing you need to be careful about is if you leave it too long and some baddies arrive. We don't have any armor on at this stage, which is important to remember, and so we are a little bit vulnerable. So we just need to be a little bit careful about what we're up to here. I'm going to drop some glass panes in now. I don't know if you can see any... Oh yeah, we've got some skeletons over there to watch out for. And I think at this stage we'll probably wait till tomorrow and finish off the house. So we'll do a little bit more dropping the glass in place. Oops, I didn't do that very well, did I? To break it, just left click and bash it down and you'll be alright. So again, I'm just going to take the ceiling up a little bit higher and collect... Oh, I did that yesterday as well. Get a little bit more cobblestone to work with. And finish off the house, and then that'll be the end of this episode. If you've got any questions from anything that I've done today, please feel free to ask any comments or questions. Again, as I said in the first episode, what I often like to do when building a house is to try and make sure that I'm placing it quite high up, ideally in a biome which is extreme hills. And the main reason for that is I can just drop down and start mining from my house without worrying about any problems. So one thing I haven't shown you in the first episode is something called F3. So if I press F3, you can see here all sorts of information, which is quite important. The first thing I would always recommend you do is write down your XY coordinates. So my home base is minus 308.83. Sorry, 33. Those two numbers, the first and last, are the most important coordinates to find your way back home. The other thing is which biome, so it's extreme hills, that's where I am. When we're building mines, we tend to want to go down to level 11, and so you'll use that when we do the mines tomorrow. So that gives you an idea of how that works. Now we're almost done filling in the house, so I'll just finish that off, and then we can end this episode having built ourselves a nice little base to call home. So there we go. The only other thing I need to show you that we'll need to make our house complete, I'll need to do a bit of filling in, which I'll maybe do offline, is we need to make a door. So what I'm going to do is take this oak, place it there, convert it to planks, and then I'm just going to right click and drag it around so that there's 6, and that creates an oak door. I like oak doors because you've got little windows and you can see out, and I think that's quite handy. In terms of where I'm going to place the door, we need to make sure we're in a location we can drop down, so I think actually this might be a better place to do the doorway here. So I'll just take that out and we'll drop a door in here, and also get a bit more cobblestone, and I think we're pretty much done. I just need to close those in. Do a bit more cobblestone. And we need to do a little bit more filling in, but we're pretty much on the home stretch. Again, I've got lots of glass, so we might as well just put some more windows in, and that gives us a nice, light and airy home. So welcome to Minecraftmum's home. This is our first home. We'll have to block that up at a later date when I've got some more cobblestone, but yeah, I quite like it. So thanks for watching. Again, if you have any comments or questions, leave them below, and that's the end of episode 2, Making Your House Survival Skills. Thanks for watching.